Hello and welcome to the Marvio Bro podcast studio. This is a friendly warning, just to let you know this is for 18 plus. So this podcast may contain adult themes, drink, drugs, funny sex stories, and dubious tales about my travel. That might be the biggest warning. But we're going to start off with already a tip. Insurance. Get it, you never know. Anyway, enjoy. Bye. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good twilight hour if you're up at that night. Ooh, spooky. I am Marvio, last name Marvio. I'm joined today by inserts missing brother. And we are the Marvio brothers. Warp piping through worlds, double dashing through games, and trying to save you coin on your gaming and travel. So, as you can tell, the boy is not here. The boy. He's currently away in a secret location, which may be in the very far east, that may have a Universal Studios and maybe one of the most influential countries in the world. Just saying. There you go. Yes, I thought I'd just do another podcast by myself. Oh, be warned, I will sing Sugar Babe Stronger later as well, so prepare yourselves. I thought I'd just do a little bit of a mini episode, and in light of recent events, I'm just going to say I want to provide some tips on your safety, also save you some money, and also just save you a lot of hassle, because we don't need the stress. Life is stressful enough, especially in particular countries, and if the boy was here, he would be saying, don't say the A word, don't say the A word. So all I can say is I'm going to start off with my first travel tip, and I'm just going to give tips and tricks in both travel and gaming, because that's how we roll, and that is my moniker. First off, please check any flight news or any flight diversions or anything like that, like any flight patterns, especially, of course, over Russia, the Middle East, and other parts of the world. Normally, they'll tell you before you even book, so just prepare yourselves for that. I've had this incident before when we had the incident where there was a crazy gunman who decided to harass and terrorize people in Tunisia, and unfortunately I tried to book a trip to Tunisia. It never happened. So my thoughts and prayers still go out to those people that are affected by that incident, and yeah, it's sad times. It's sad times. However, don't let that discourage you from wanting to travel and enjoy your gaming, because there's certain people that want to put us down, but we will still fly with our switches. So, first tip I have here, I've actually tried to book a trip to Portugal for next month. I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to say which airport. I'm just going to say I tried to go a particular one. I'll give you the tips after I've gone, because that's also one of my tips is don't tell anybody where you're going and when you're going at the same time. Because unfortunately, we live in a world where people can digitally find out where you are at all times. So I'm just going to say Portugal some point next month. I'm not saying when. And I'm not saying which place I'm going to either. Just Portugal. So here's my first tip. Or already given one, so, move on. Try to book on a Monday to Thursday. I noticed there's some Skyscanner. Please use Skyscanner, because you can use all the other flight companies and get a little bit of a gist of the price. It's normally cheap on a Monday to Thursday, because Saturday to Sunday is when they go, people have had a little bit of wine, or they're feeling a bit frisky, or they're like, oh my God, it's Friday. I need to get out of this bloody country. That's where the prices go up and start soaring. Funny enough, I tried booking a trip on Sunday, and then the prices on Monday were relatively a lot cheaper. Also, shop around. Please do shop around. I did notice on certain websites that the price was a certain amount, and then when I got to a certain carrier, one that we may or may not disclose this very moment, might be Miami. The prices obviously went skyrocketing through the world, and all I wanted to do was get one hold all luggage and one checked on luggage. And before I knew it, I was just like, I should just get a boat there. It'll be easier and cheaper. Next tip, check your Quidco and your bank/credit card provider for cashback offers. I know it's an expensive time, but you can make them a little bit less expensive by actually going out there, looking on the website and booking through Quidco or your bank. Sometimes you'll get offers of, it can range anywhere between 2% and 10%, depending on your flight or accommodation holder. Next point, which also brings me on to package holidays. Please, Lord, please of the various gods, double check your package holiday. Now, it's one thing they say, we've got you the flight, we've got the hotel, we've got the transfer. However, they've also jacked up the price on each of those. And sometimes it's actually cheaper and easier and more convenient for you if you actually book those three things separately. All I'm going to say is prepare yourself to have a lot of tabs open and to have a lot of notes ready. It may seem like a bit of an arduous task, but there's a big difference between paying £600 for a package holiday and $475 for a different one. So just saying, I've had that incidents before. Went for the package holiday, found a couple that were like, oh yeah, we booked this trip to Greece. Yeah, it's so much cheaper. I was like, what the frig? And they were on the exact same transfer, the exact same hotel and better flights. So yeah, prepare yourselves. Next thing I need to check is also your transfers. Now, when I say transfers, I don't just mean your transfer there. I mean your transfer going to your leaving airport, your departure lounge. Again, please research, check where you can. There's a big difference between getting a 6 a.m. flight and a 9 a.m. flight. You have to factor in traffic, the availability of public transport, and also if you wish to drive there and pay for parking. Granted, when you're looking at flights and you may be a bit like me and you're like, oh, but it's like £20 more expensive to go at 10:15 a.m. And then you try to go at 6 a.m. and then you're like, crap, I might have to stay at a hotel. I might have to drive there. I might have to sleep at the coach stop. Please weigh up the pros and cons before you do any booking. I know it's hard to resist that £20 cheaper, but if it's going to cost you £40 more just to drive somewhere and also go into the actual airport, because you may get a friend or a family member to drop you off at God knows in the morning, and they will be hating you and going, you know what? You have the time of your life, but you better bring me back the biggest souvenir after me dropping you here at 5:44 a.m. Prepare yourself. That's all I can say. So weigh your pros and cons, see what's better, and see what's doable for you. Again, please obviously factor into every single thing. Believe me, that 9 a.m. flight is just going to be marred with the traffic getting there. And also, you don't want to be tired for your own holiday. There's nothing worse than being tired for your own holiday. So actually, this is not even just travel. This is just a live tip. Have a lot of vitamin D, vitamin C, and also B12. And what's the other one? Magnesium and iron and zinc. Thank the Simpsons for that tip. If I hadn't remembered those, iron helps us play. There you go. I've done my job. I can actually stop now, but I refuse to. We've got more to do. Yeah, also said, research the airport, because some airports will have hidden costs. Heathrow now charges you £5. It may be more at the time of this recording. And also, please factor in if you are going anywhere near London or even Birmingham now. Also, some parts of Oxfordshire. Actually, any county. Just check any county and see if they have any hidden air charges. Yes, my car's not ULEZ compliant, and I refuse to change my car because I don't have the money, but I will pay the £12.50 every single freaking time. And also check the website that you go on when you get your ULEZ, because if it's more than £12.50 and they've not told you that £12.50 and it's more than that, you've been conned. So please, I've had a recent uncle who's had this situation where he pays £17.50. So obviously they paid the charge and they got a £5 profit. So be careful. Check the website. If you're older, get someone younger to check for you. Or you can actually, I think there are some softwares out there where you can right click on the website, see if it's legit, then pay. As long as it says Gov UK, you are good to go. Also, when you're traveling, this is a little bit of a two-parter one. Please check reputable shopping sites. Just to make sure when you try to buy on-flight baggage that it's actually to the size that they say and that you've actually paid for it. Again, some people get to the airport and go, oh yeah, this is fine, it's all within the requirements. And then they're like, oh crap, I should have checked the Temu description before I got here. I can't fit my kitty in here. I've seen many people with those small, cute little suitcases that's got their laptop in it and all the other little documents and your passport and all the other contraband you've got in there. You can't get through with that, love. I'm sorry. It's literally 2 centimeters over. And as much as you'd like to have an extra 2 centimeters, we do not allow that on this airplane. We are not part of the mile. Sorry. I'm trying to be serious, but I refuse to. Anywho, also with that, the laws in certain airports have changed, so you can take up to, I think it's up to 2 liters, again, at the time I was recording, in total. So still take your deodorant, any of your moisturizers, your sun lotion, which I always say take it anyway, even if you're going on a winter holiday, just in case, and make sure you add them up, and also give yourself a little bit of allowance. So I always try to just go to a maximum of 1.5 liters. Don't forget the bottled water you take. Also, I will say this, I did watch a video on Instagram saying that, remember, bottled waters are taken from the factory unit, left out in the sun, left out on the shelves, moved around in dirty boxes, and then the plastic deteriorates in that actual bottle, and then you're drinking plastic. Ugh! So I always try to take a glass one, drink it there. If you can find a usable bottle that you know that's actually eco-friendly, take that as well. I think they do allow you to take those, but they have to be empty before you go. So yes. What else is there? Oh yes, saving cash on public transport. Try to pre-book any taxis and any airport transfers. So the coach, train, bus, whatever you need to do to get there. Pre-plan it and pre-book it. There's nothing better than having yourself all organized. It's literally the most arousing thing in the world, especially when you get there blissfully. You've got your pillow neck around you. You've got your headphones in. You're listening to the Sugar Babes, or maybe something a little bit harder, or maybe a little bit softer, or maybe it might be Christmas and it might be Michael Bublé. Just enjoy your trip. Remember, this is your time to de-stress, relax, enjoy. Maybe check out that handsome air steward over there. Just saying, air stewardess. She may be handsome as well. She may be getting close. Anyway, now this is a little tip for the LGBTQIA team. Check the law before you go. Now, I've had this incident where I was in Barbados and I went on Grindr, and as soon as I saw this notification, I was like, I need to remember this for other people. Double check the law, because certain places obviously will say you can be gay, just don't show the fact that you're gay. So Again, particularly places like the Caribbean, the Middle East. And unfortunately, we've now got an incident where trans people are not allowed to drive in Kansas. Has now passed a law where trans people need to have the license which was assigned to them at birth. So if you want from male to female, you need to have your male identification, or male to female, female identification, which obviously defeats the purpose of transgender and also defeats the purpose of equality and progression. I digress. By the way, this is a little side note, because I've got to say this, I didn't want to confuse people. Anyway, back to the rest of the podcast. Even if it is legal and you are all right, please still be careful. I know we're meant to be out and proud, but not everyone wants us to be shouting in the street. They want to take our megaphones off us. We really need a lesbian with a clipboard at all times, because they will stand for nothing. Nothing. Also, this is my tip for everyone. Everyone. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, where you've come from. Please try and learn the basic essential phrases. No one needs to curse out someone and say that their mother's a goat. We don't need that. You just need to know, hi, how do I get to my hotel? How do I get a taxi? How can I order this on the menu? Things like that. Things that you would need in your own country. Do not try to be that person. Go, tell me what the word is for F you. And then you're like, that's not going to help you get around Budapest. That's just rude. But yeah, that's all the travel tips for now. So please take these on board and please look after yourselves. Next, the fun. We now have gaming tips. Now, this one's a little bit shorter. So this is more for the general people. Please check online, particularly on YouTube. Check for things like the Nintendo Direct, PlayStation State of Play, and whatever Microsoft is. I can't remember what the Microsoft one is. I think they just turn up. We'll put the link in the description for the latest ones for this year. This is a good way to get into contact with what is going on with your particular gaming station, and also just get a breath of what is going on. Also, just check the commentary. I will say this now. If a game looks good, please purchase it if you've got the funds. Don't put yourself out of pocket. However, we do have things like Klarna and 0% interest credit cards. Please be careful of your finances. I know gaming is an expensive hobby, but it's not worth putting yourself into risk. Believe me, I've been there. I don't want to go back there again, and we never will. I will particularly say, please look out for the indie ones. Now, my brother said before, the AAA ones is basically the same kind of games, same kind of feeling, but they have put a whole bunch of money behind it. They ruin developers' lives, make them do crunch time, and then they get booted out, and then we got to then pick up the cost and go, so you've given us 75% of a game and most of it has to be patched on day one? What? So please check out the indie ones. They obviously are smaller studios and they do need a bit of love and attention. And the fact is, there are some very weird, wacky, cool games out there that are spiritual successors to other games that are already out. So if you're looking for something that's a bit like Crazy Taxis, there might be a Crazy Bus. Please also check the reviews. Also check a few things online. Maybe check a few reviews, but just get your own feeling. Just see how you look, because believe me, a lot of my games that I used to love as a younger child were always 6 out of 10s. And one of my favorite games was Cell Damage. And that was on the GameCube. And I loved that game to bit. But then because I got influenced by bloody magazines and websites, I was like, 6 out of 10, that's not a game. No, baby girl, just enjoy what you do. That's all I can say. Next one, update all controllers. I cannot stress this enough, especially for the Nintendo crew. Try and do it monthly. Just double check. Even set a reminder on your Google Calendar or whatever you need to do. Update the controllers, because sometimes I do find like my controller drifts, or it's not responding properly, or I find like, I call it the haphazard key, but it's called something else. The hazard tap thing on the PlayStation 5. I still don't fully know what that means. It just means it taps quicker or taps better. Don't know. do the update. It will save you. And also, because certain games change the way how they play in updates, it doesn't always update with the controller. So, yeah, I found that when playing with Splatoon 3 and also Tears of the Kingdom, once I changed the controller update, it was almost like, oh wow, I can play the game. It's not like I'm trying to move a tank. Sorry, my cat's just here. What do you want, woman? Don't meow back. She's a little cow bag. I might keep that in. Anyway, another tip. Now, this might be a tip more for me than it will be for you. Please clean your consoles. Get the polish out. Check the specs. Maybe see if there's a cleaning kit that you can get on Amazon or I wasn't saying the shops, but what shops are they? We'll come up to that point in a minute. Yeah, clean your consoles. I found that my Joy-Cons had rubbed so much from the grease on my hands that they had actually rubbed away the actual rubber and plastic. So I was just left with two nubs. Oi, oi. Anyway, swiftly. Wish list. Please, please, please put a wish list on 3 to 4 of your favorite retailers for both physical and digital. I will say this because sometimes I've gone into like the PlayStation store and said, oh, it's going to be cheaper digitally, and then found out the physical version is actually cheaper at like Smith Toys or Very or my favorite one is shop2.net. Again, I will put the links in the description. They normally have like a cheaper version, or sometimes they don't even have like the right format. I did try looking for Marvel versus Capcom collection, or was it the Fighting Capcom collection too? And found like they only had the Switch and Microsoft version, but they didn't have the PlayStation one, which I thought was bizarre because the PlayStation one would be like the most preferred format. But I digress. Also, and I love this. This is why I put the wish list thing. After that, make sure you check when websites and actual hardware websites, I'll go into that a bit more, do their discounts and sales. Now, I've recently had an incident where I've gone on to, I can't remember, it was PlayStation or was it the Nintendo Switch? I think it might have been the PlayStation. And it was basically 60% off all Capcom games. I'm not mad. I'm just a little bit upset. It was 60% off. I'm thinking, it's towards the end of October/November. It's going to be Christmas soon, then the January sales will be better. No, what the fuck was I thinking? What was I thinking? Oh my God, I'm full Britney from Daria. Yeah, double check, because sometimes the company one is obviously just for the company one. So if it's under Capcom, Activision, EA, don't buy anything from EA, just say, bleh. And then found out their discount was better than the general company one, because I'm not sure what it comes with licenses or retail recommended prices, that kind of law stuff. It does hinder it a little bit. So you thinking it might be cheaper during the Easter, summer, winter sales, if you see one for a particular company that you like for example, me, I love Capcom. I like my Resident Evils. I love my fighting games. I also like just the odd random game from them as well. They may have a cheaper discount. So just keep it in your wish list. It may just pop up. I recently just purchased Monster Hunter Rise. It was all for £6.94. What a bargain. Bargain poubelle. As they say in the French districts of Notre Dame. Oh yeah, bargain poubelle. You know, the hunchback, he likes the Nintendo Switch too. J'adore Nintendo Switch too. I need to reference my own travel tips. Need to learn local phrases for different countries. Will make me seem a little bit less silly. Anyway, also for anybody out there, this is for all people, regardless if you're a seasoned PC gamer or you're just an old lady who's just happened to stumble across this very fantastic podcast. Get a VPN. Again, the boy has introduced me to Proton VPN. Again, links will be in the description. yeah, just protect yourself. I've had a few little cheeky people trying to get hold of um my personal details. I've got no money, so why are you trying to get my go go speak to Victoria Beckham? She's got cash. Go hit her PC. Don't be hitting me with my £32, which is in the in the red. You ain't gonna go nowhere, babes. But yeah, I digress. Also, for people out there, please, if you are a little bit concerned and you are a little bit worried about maybe going online, don't worry. There will always be communities that you can join. So I will recommend going on Discord and also checking Facebook. I know that old archaic thing that your auntie keeps sending you those silly little memes that you're like, auntie, you shouldn't be sending me these memes. You really shouldn't be sending me these memes. I actually managed to find a lot of my friends via some communities. I just found a game I like, so I used Mario Kart 8 when I had the good old Wii U. Joined there, and I've got some friends that have now lasted for, a good few years. And I hope they continue to stay on for a good few years. They actually listen to this podcast as we speak. If they're not, I will have to let them loose, run them over with a cart, with a banana in my hands, with my voice getting higher. But yeah. We will also have a community here soon as well. I'm still trying to build a website. I'm also still trying to redo the Discord that I do have, but that will all come to at a later date. But please, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Please give us a 5-star review. Please comment below because it helps change the algorithm so people get out there and notice us. It will help us a lot. So if you help me, I will help you. Just like I'm giving you tips, you give us the comments and maybe a cheeky $5. No, we don't do this for money. We do this for the love of gaming and travel. Anyway, I am Marvio. Last name, Marvio. Waiting for Christopher. Last name, Marvio. He will return. Once he comes back from his trip and once we've got ourselves together, there will be a new podcast format. I know we're always evolving, always changing, always listening to your comments. So please, if you see us on Spotify, Instagram, I have the Linktree somewhere in this description somewhere. Please follow, like, and most definitely share. Share the love. Anyway, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, twilight time. Ooh. And look after yourselves. And please, 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 please don't ever apply for Cycle 25 of America's Next Top Model because they may murder you. Just saying. Tyra is that type of person. Okay, bye.